14-year-old girl came for ultrasound abdomen due to acute lower abdominal pain with clinical suspicion of ureteric colic. See the transabdominal images of the lower abdomen. What are all the findings and give the diagnosis. 3 images are focusing the pelvis and the last image is focusing the kidneys. You can go through the images and what do you think? If you want more time, please pause the video and review again. Within few seconds, I will give you the findings and shall discuss about the observations. Are you ready? Let's go. The ultrasound pelvis of the 14-year-old girl with painful amenorrhea shows severe ballooning of the vaginal cavity having some echogenic contents. That's the first image. The second image shows the uterus which is displaced upwards and anteriorly with some ballooning of the endometrium, which looks more hypoechoic than the vaginal contents. On Doppler, no flow could be seen in the vaginal and uterine collections. Right and left ovaries appear unremarkable. Both the kidneys show minimal calaceal prominence. Final diagnosis is hematocolpometria. Hematocolpos means blood or blood products in the vaginal canal. If the blood or blood products distend the endometrial cavity, it will be called as hematometria. If the blood contents extend to the fallopian tubes, it will be called as hematosalpinx. If the obstructed contents become infected with pus formation, then it will be called as pyocolpos or pyometria or pyosalpinx respectively. I am giving the image to see the causes of hematocolpos and hematometria, which can be primary or acquired. When you say primary, most of the times it presents as hematocolpos or hematocolpometria, which means vaginal distension will be always present. The affected age group varies from the 3rd trimester antenatally or in the neonatal period, but most commonly it will be in the teenage group as in this case. Primary causes are imperforate hymen, transverse septum, atresia of vagina or cervix, urogenital sinus anomalies or McKusick-Kaufman syndrome or Bardet-Biedl syndrome. When you say acquired, the affected patients will be either menstruating women or it can be post-menopausal women. The acquired causes are due to either endocervical malignancy or synechia or due to either surgery or curettage or due to radiation or cryocauterization or electrocauterization or due to it can be senile atrophy. Ultrasound is the modality of choice most of the times as it is very sensitive. MRI is needed to assess the anatomy if surgical procedure has to be done. MRI is also needed to rule out the uncommon causes when there is some more clinical suspicion. In the recent years, the antenatal diagnosis of primary amenorrhea becomes more common with so many reports published in few journals. In utero treatment has also been published. The incidence of antenatal diagnosis of primary amenorrhea is less than 1 in 30,000 live births, being more common in the monochorionic twins than dichorionic twins or in the singletons. If you are a radiologist or a sonologist, you can suspect this even on the late 2nd trimester or in the early 3rd trimester if there is some ascites in the fetal abdomen or the fetal kidneys show significant hydronephrosis and no other findings. Okay, that's the end of the session. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Please share this with your doctor groups. Your valuable comments are welcome and I am waiting for your suggestions. Thank you again.